Welcome to our tutorial video on creating rate in our application. A rate defines how much a client, customer, or supplier will be charged based on different parameters. Now, let's dive into how to create rate in the application. Begin by navigating to the rate section from the main menu. Once you're there, click on the plus button to add a new rate. The first step is to choose the rate type based on your requirements. You can select from options such as for client, for supplier, or for client with markup. In this tutorial, we will be creating a client rate, so select that option and click on the Continue button. A new page will open where you need to fill in the relevant fields. The first field is a checkbox for status. If you click this checkbox, the rate will be marked as active. The next checkbox is for retail. This box must be checked when you're creating rates for a B2C website. By selecting this option, the rates will be visible to your retail clients who will be booking through your website. Next, select the rate type from the drop-down menu. Based on the rate type selected, the corresponding saved rate name will be displayed. Then, choose for which client you are creating the rate. You can select whether the rate is for a retail client, a single client, or a client pool. Depending on your selection, you will proceed differently. If you select retail, you will be prompted to choose the rate area. If you choose a single client or client pool, you will select the specific client or client group from the drop-down. Here we will select a single client saved in the database. Then choose the rate area. You can choose multiple rate area, and to remove a selected rate area, click the cross icon. Then, if applicable, select the garage fare type. Followed by the payment terms field. By default, the currency will be set to INR, but you can change this to any currency you prefer. For additional options, click Show Advanced Options to configure fields such as time rounding, which determines how the trip duration is calculated for the fare. You can also set the valid from and valid till dates. Then, select the day-end type. You can choose between not applicable, or midnight, which means the next day's fare will be added after midnight, or 24 hours from trip start. If you'd like to apply a night charge, check the relevant box, and the system will prompt you to specify the start and end times for the night charge. Additionally, you have the option to exclude tolls and parking fees from taxation. Simply check the box if this applies to your rate. Next, you will encounter the Compare Distance and Time option, which calculates the fare based on whichever is greater, either the distance or the time. Once you've completed the initial setup, the next step is to define the fare details. Begin by selecting the rate name from the drop-down menu, or click the search icon to view all available rate names. Next, choose the days of the week on which this rate will be applicable. Then, select the appropriate vehicle type or vehicle make and model that this rate will apply to. Following that, you'll need to define the key fare components. Start with the base fare charge, which is the fixed amount for the service. Then, add the distance fare, which is per kilometer rate, followed by the time fare, which is the charge based on per hour. If applicable, then include additional charges like driver allowance or garage fare. If you need to add fare details for other vehicles, click the plus icon to add a new row, and fill in the necessary information. If any entry is no longer required, you can easily remove it by clicking the minus button next to the corresponding entry. If you wish to create a new weekly rate group, which allows you to apply different rates for different days of the week. Simply click on the New Weekly Group button. This will enable you to define separate rates based on the days of the week under same rate name. And proceed with adding the rate details. Additionally, you can click the New Package button to add a new rate package. This feature allows you to create and manage multiple rate packages for a single client on the same page. Simply select the required rate name and then proceed with adding the rate details. Once all details are entered and reviewed, click Save to finalize and store the entry in the system. Once the rate is created, it will automatically appear in the standard rate options when creating a booking. To use the newly created rate, simply filter through the available rates to find the relevant one. Once you've located the correct rate, select it and proceed with the booking process as usual. Thanks for watching. Explore our other tutorial videos for detailed explanations of all the modules.